What is up mga paps? Thank you na, meron tayo sa phone ngayon. Welcome to the Fantasy Basketball PH in association with KUMUHOOPS. So yun, usapan na naman tayong NBA and Fantasy Basketball. Sa mga followers, supporters, viewers natin dyan, shoutout sa inyo. Happy Wednesday. So isa na namang malupet na topic yung ating pag-uusapan for today. Again, this is your Fantasy Papi, Papi Roy. At umpisahan na natin ang ating pag-uusapan. Kamusta naman ang inyong mga linggo? Medyo malapit nang mag-umpisa talaga yung season. So kung nanonood kayo ng mga videos and clips, marami na naglalabasan ng mga pro-am na tournament. So recently ang medyo matunog diyan yung iringan ni Paulo Banquero sa kanito ni Dejante Murray. So nakita niyo ba yun mga paps? So kung napanood niyo yun at meron kayong comment, drop niyo lang yung mga comments niyo. Live at KUMU. Live tayo sa KUMU and then of course live din tayo sa Facebook page natin sa YouTube channel. So ayan. So bago pa mag-umpisa ang season, last time pag-usapan natin yung mga rookies, pag-usapan natin yung sophomores. For today's episode naman, pag-usapan naman natin yung mga comeback players. Medyo mixed naman siya. May mga bata, may mga veteran. So, tingnan natin kung sino yung na-expect natin na magkaroon ng solid season once they come back from either injury, mostly injury, yung iba contract-wise or leave of absence. Ayan. So, bago natin umpisahan ang lahat, mga papi, syempre, isa munang malaking shoutout dito sa ating topic for today. So, makikita nyo dyan, live din po tayo sa KUMUHOOPS. And then, pag-uusapan natin ay comeback players. So palagay nyo mga paps, sino sa mga naiisip nyo na hindi nakapaglaro last season, na injured last season for some reason or absent or medyo may problema sa kanilang kontrata, ang magkakaroon ng malupit na comeback year for the upcoming season. So, few big names dyan, syempre, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, and Jamal Murray. So kung sino mang nanonood ngayon dyan, mga paps, pagkatapos meron kayong idol, meron kayong fan, o kaya naman wala kayong tiwala dyan sa mga players na yan. Comment nyo lang. Ito, sabi ni Papi Oliver's po, what's up, paps? Nice to be back. Sabi niya, Kawhi Matic. Oo, pag-usapan natin mamaya si Daklo kasi itong Los Angeles Clippers, sobrang interesting niya na team this coming season kasi last year, without Paul George, most of the season, wala si Paul George, wala si Kawhi Leonard. Pero nakapasok pa rin sila sa playoffs. So, at tawag ko sa kanila, death team lineup or death man lineup kasi lahat ng mga gustong forwards ng ibang teams, nasa kanila. Diba? Robert Covington, nakuha pa lang si Norman Powell. Hindi naman ibig sabihin gusto nila sina Marcus Morris. Pero alam mo yun, kasi there's a certain role or there's a certain arsenal ng isang player na gustong-gusto ng ibang team dahil they can do a lot of things. They can defend, forward, they can shoot. So yan yung mga tawag dito, mga target usually ng players bago pa mag-playoffs kasi importante na meron kayo isang 3-and-D na wing na body that could actually guard the best tawag dito, best offensive player ng kalaban, and that could also help you out, hindi lang puro depensa. Dati kasi traditional ganoon depensa ka lang. Ngayon they also wanted players na yun who can shoot and all. So halos lahat ng mga forwards yun nag-ipon sa Clippers. So imagine with Kawhi pa. So maganda pag-usapan yan. Salamat Papi Oliver Spoke. Sabi naman ni Papi Robbie, eyeing for TJ Warren. Ako, isa to sa mga kasama ni Jamal Murray, sa maybe Donovan Mitchell as well. Mga bubble MVPs. So since that bubble MVP performance, yan, si TJ Warren, Jamal Murray, Devin Booker, Yun yung talagang mga nag-excel nung bubble eh. Never pa nakapaglaro to si TJ Warren. Actually, nakapaglaro siya. I guess, tama ba? Nakapaglaro siya ng ilang games? One game lang ata. Para dito sa Indiana Pacers, nag-attempt bumalik or nagkaroon ng rumors. As in, talagang yung mga bago, naalala ko yun, doon sa mga nagpa-fantasy dyan, bago mag-start yung season, doon sa mga maagang nag-draft, madami nang kumuha kay TJ Warren. Tapos after a couple of days or a couple of weeks, biglang lumabas yung balita na, na-aggravate yung injury niya, hindi na makakapaglaro. So, watch out for this kind of updates. Pero yeah, TJ Warren, under the radar yan kasi marami nang naumay kakaintay kay TJ Warren. So, salamat Papi Oliver, salamat Papi Roby, and then salamat sa pag-share Papi Ralph. Shiro1, salamat sa pag-follow sa KUMU. So yan, umpisahan na natin ang ating balitaktakan for today. Of course, this episode is brought to you by Sikretong Parisan sa San Lorenzo Road. So, sa mga mahilig magpares dyan, ang gusto tumambay, makikita nyo ako dyan. Lagi ako dyan sa San Lorenzo Road, alongside Enchanted Kingdom lang yan. So, pwedeng-pwede yung dayuhin yan. Okay, nakapag-plug pa tayo, no? Number one player for me that I'm expecting to have a comeback here is Damian Lillard. Obviously, both in reality and fantasy. Kilala naman natin na star talaga itong si Damian Lillard. Sabihin na natin superstar. Pero it was kind of like tricky for Portland Blazers given yung attempt nila to tank. Well, nag-tank naman talaga sila. Pero kaya ako nasabing attempt kasi akala ko they will go all in. This rookie, nakita natin kinuha nila Shadon Sharp. Pero nung nagkaroon na ng mga transactions, mukhang hindi sila basta-basta magtatang. Parang gusto nila sakto lang. They get some future youngsters, pero they stick to their usual goal na makapasok sa playoffs. That's the reason why they got si Jeremy Grant papunta din sa Portland Blazers. Of course, andyan si Adferdy Simons na mukhang siya na yung hahalili para kay CJ Back, and then ito paparating si Damian Lillard. So ano ibig sabihin na to? So number one, question pa rin si health. Napakalaking question dyan in terms of playoffs aspiration. Kasi mga paps, you have Yusuf Nurkic eh. Ito si Yusuf Nurkic, never pa siya naging healthy like for a very, very long season. So it's going to be interesting if they will stick with Yusuf Nurkic or within this season, gumawa pa sila ng further moves. Kasi nagdududa ako eh. Will Yusuf Nurkic, Damian Lillard, at Ferdy Simons, Jeremy Grant be a very formidable team for Portland? Nakikita nila, kaya-kaya na natin. Understandable, the small market of Portland, they can only do so much kasi wala naman sila kakayahan to really trade for big names. So kaya, alam mo yun, either unless they tank and then they got their picks. Pero talagang bubuhatin ulit sila ni Damian Lillard. So dahil yun yung direction na nakikita natin, I think he's gonna have another big year. Usual pala, hindi naman big. Usual year niya na scoring a lot, shooting from kahit saan sa court. Halos Stephen Curry-esque the style of play of basketball. Pero something to take note of Damian Lillard kasi if you play fantasy basketball and if you've been following Damian Lillard, isa siya na sa mga Iron Man few years back. Kasi kung kaya niya maglalaro siya the whole season. And then, unfortunately, after a couple of years, bigla siyang na-injury. Tapos nagkasunod-sunod. So ngayon, biglang nagkakaroon ng tag itong si Damian Lillard na, injury prone na yan. So I guess this is something for you to watch out, especially if you play fantasy basketball. Kasi it means people might be low on Damian Lillard. Recent Yahoo rankings, past top 10 si Damian Lillard. So I think you have to really draft Damian Lillard na magpas na sa top 10 yan. Kasi as long as he's healthy, something to monitor, feeling ko he'll definitely give us top 10 fantasy value. May lingering issue siya last year eh. Tapos he started slow talaga. Kaya parang nadisabaya yung mga Damian Lillard players. Pero hindi naman ganun katanda ito si Damian Lillard. And then, sino pa kakaasahan ng Portland Blazers, di ba? At Ferdy Simons is someone easy pa para sa akin if he can maintain yung type of play niya even with Damian Lillard. So, yan yung kabangan natin. Nag-message test itong si user sa KUMUHOOPS. So, if you'll checking if marirecognize kaya niyo. So, nabasa ko naman yung test message mo. So, ano pang masasabi natin kay Damian Lillard? In the past years, I guess, isa dun sa mga asahan ng mga magdadunk kay Damian Lillard na medyo makaka-apekto sa projected niya, the projected value niya will be his free throws made. Uh, ito si Damian Lillard, nag-umpisa siya ng scoring guard lang. Pagkatapos, napansin na ng lahat na isa doon sa mga strengths ng game niya is getting to the free throw line. So if you play fantasy, tapos meron kayong category na free throws made and even free throw percentage, malaking bagay ito si Damian Lillard. Plus, after a couple of seasons, tumaas na rin yung assist niya. So, isa din to sa dapat yung i-watch out if Damian Lillard continues to bring that arsenal. Siguro nakakailang season na, 2 to 3 seasons na may-maintain niya talagang part of his game na yung facilitating. And then, more efficient than usual. A lot of snipes. So, yan yung mga i-expect natin kay Damian Lillard. Thing is, if he's not too healthy, posibleng he starts slow to start of the season. And then, mapunta yung load dito kay Anthony Simons o kaya dito kay Jeremy Grant. Maybe a healthy use of Nurkic. So, yan yung titingnan natin, yan yung abangan natin kay Damian Lillard. But nonetheless, wala naman sobrang laking changes nitong Portland Blazers unless magkaroon pa sila ng trades. So, I'm expecting big things para dito kay Damian Lillard. So, ayan, watch out nyo tong si Dame time na mangyayari this coming season. So, kung merong mga Damian Lillard fans dyan, comment na kayo, anong masasabi niya dito sa paparating na season para kay comebacking Damian Lillard. Next player natin, nabanggit na natin to at mukhang ito yung inaabangan ni Papi Oliver Spoke. So Daklo, Kawhi Leonard. This is something na tricky, another tricky player to draft in fantasy. And then, in reality, something exciting naman para dun sa mga Los Angeles Clippers fans dyan. So, unahin natin in reality. Exciting, of course, kasi bago ma-injure si Kawhi Leonard, napansin na natin talaga na starting from his 1-year stint sa Toronto Raptors, papunta sa Los Angeles Clippers, is really following yung direction to be that main man type of a player. Before, ang aasahan lang natin dito, depensa, and then siguro panaka-nakang scoring consistently, hindi pa natin masasabi ng San Antonio Spurs kasi he started his career with the Big Three. So, hindi siya kinakailangan umiscore. So, as time goes by, especially nung nag-MVP na siya, nakapag-champion sa Toronto, napakita niya na he's a very, very capable scorer. Not only from the outside or from the perimeter kasi bilang lang yan eh. Bilang lang yung mga solid na main man na merong perimeter na arsenal, which is very, very important, especially if injury prone ka o kaya aging ka na. So this is something that MJ knows, Kobe knows, and then other like CP3 knows. And LeBron is trying to get yung perimeter na tibay na shooting kasi syempre if it's part of your arsenal, talagang in terms of getting easy buckets, especially when it counts, playoffs and all, malaking bagay na mayroong perimeter shooter. Pero in the past season, na napansin ko dito kay Kawhi Leonard, he's already, he had that back in the San Antonio Spurs, pero sobrang madami na or tumaas na yung attempt niya ng tres. So it's something to watch out, especially dun sa composition ng Los Angeles Clippers in the upcoming year with John Wall doon sa kanilang lineup. So someone that can actually penetrate and then kick back dun sa outside or the perimeter na available players sa team nila. So you have Paul George that also shoot well. You also have Norman Powell there, Robert Covington. So ine-expect ko na isa to sa mas magagawa ni John Wall effectively compared to what Reggie Jackson did. So abangan natin itong stat na to kay Kawhi Leonard if lolobo talaga siya. In the past season, naging question, sino bang babanat sa kanila? Si Paul George, si Kawhi Leonard, sino bang aabangan natin dyan? So I think it's not a question anymore. Whenever Kawhi Leonard is present, it's gonna be Kawhi for sure. Kasi iba yung dynamics ni Kawhi. Yung composure niya, yung how how a player controls the game. If you want to speed up mo yung game, kaya na niya. Pabagalan niya yung game, kaya na niya. So bilang lang yung mga players na kaya mag-dictate ng tempo. So I think Kawhi is someone like that. Pero sa kabila ng mga papuri na binigay ko, shout out kay Bobby Oliver, favorite player pala niya. Sa kabila ng mga papuri na nabigay ko, isa doon sa mga aabangan natin kay Kawhi, ilang games yung malalaro niya. Lalo na kung magpa-fantasy basketball ka. Paano mo i-assess si Kawhi? Kasi definitely, if per game basis, top 10, hands down, wala nang tanong-tanong. Matik yan. Good efficiency, may defense, can score, tumataas na rin ng kahit paano yung assist niya, lumoba na yung scoring niya. So ano manghihingin mo, di ba? Pero, usually, naglalaro lang sa 50 plus to 60 games yung average niya dahil do sa injuries na concern. Plus, even if healthy siya, inuupo siya coming pag almost fantasy playoffs niya, and then especially kapag merong mga back-to-back games. So that's something that you should consider. So if he's an automatic top 10 player, pagdating dun sa per game, pagdating naman dun sa per season or yung totals niya, given yung load management and concern dun sa kanyang health, I think pwede mo siyang i-nudge down to the second round. So, pag nakuha mo na siya end ng second round, feeling ko solid na yan. Kasi meron ka ng main man, anchor mo, and then you have a Kawhi Leonard that can actually surprise us. Hindi natin alam. Pag biglang nag-all-in ang Clippers, pwede namang maglaro siya as much as he can, di ba? Pero abangan natin yan kasi kung babasahin mo yung structure ng Clippers, now you have John Wall. And of course, you have Paul George. So you have reliable players. So it means kapag nakapondo sila ng wins, ngayong may John Wall ka na that wants to be back and to be recognized again na kaya pa niya maglaro, maybe magkaroon sila ng plano na, pag ipapahinga namin si Kawhi, sige, gawin mo yung gustong gawin mo, John Wall, since andyan ka na rin naman. So it's something na kailangan natin silipan ng angle. So with that said, I guess 60 games or more, siguro feeling ko fine line na yung 60 games na kayang laro ni Kawhi Leonard in regular season. Of course, sa playoffs, definitely maglalaro yan. And then, abangan na lang natin, yung monitor natin yung updates dito kay The Clock. Salamat sa pag-send ng halo-halo, Jorge Sablayan, pati kay Papi Ralph. Shout out din kay Rice Sports PH sa panonood. Yan, sabi nga dito, no, idol favorite player pala to ni Papi Oliver. Ito si Kawhi. Naging gusto ko, hindi naman siya favorite player. Kasi syempre San Antonio Spurs fan tayo. So, yun yung mga Spurs fan, galit kay Kawhi. Ako hindi naman. Kasi malaki yung naitulong niya dun sa organization. So, we recognize. Ako, I personally recognize that. Okay. Next natin. Ito, from load management to a big injury concern. Zion, the Lion, Williamson. So, pwede nating i-check yung subscription niya or yung kontrata niya sa pag-order ng mga Mountain Dew sa burger. Kasi nagkaroon na siya ng additional condition sa kontrata niya with regards to his health and then his way, and of course naging meticulous din naman ng Pelicans bago siya i-extend. Off-season, dumadakdak, daming clips. Pagkatapos nakita niyo yung katawan niya, talagang mukhang leaner than before. So everything, every signs and every rumors, every news is going to the direction that he's gonna be 100% healthy this coming season. So isa sa gusto ko dito kay Zion Williamson is not only his health, not only his potential na hindi pa niya nare-reach. So yun there was a season na siya yung number 1 in terms of field goal percentage, pero hindi pa niya nare-reach yung potential niya. So if you're someone that really believes in Zion, I think you should expect big things this coming season. Bakit? Not only because of his skill, pero he's going to come back to a New Orleans Pelicans that is better, that has more pieces. So before, napipilitan siyang, at some point, ginagawa niya lahat. Para siyang si Daniel Padilla. Nasa kanya lahat. Pero, this time, you have a very good a set of role players, young players that can actually help agad-agad. Pagkatapos, nakakuha sila ng veteran presence with CJ Mack. Meron siyang big man anchor. Maybe not defensively, pero at least big man in the post. Yung Jonas Valanciunas. Of course, you have Brandon Ingram. Kung gusto mo ng backup, pwede mong pasahan si Devonte Graham. Magtatayo ng brick house yan. So, ang dami ng option. Naging maganda na yung babalikan niyang team. So, I am expecting that he could do a different type of play depending dun sa gusto ng New Orleans Pelicans na ma-elevate yung laro niya. What I'm trying to say is his playmaking part of a player. Remember, malaki lang to si Zion Williamson. Pero nung naglalaro siya sa high school and basta yung bago siya pumasok sa NBA, he was actually handling the ball a lot of times. And then they tried this nung bago siya ma-injured nag-point forward siya. So maybe he can do that. Tingnan natin kasi hindi naman sila kumuha ng legit na point guard So you have Graham na, well, he can do point guard chores pero feeling ko mas gusto niyan tumira. Then of course, you have good wing presence. You have capable receivers sa tres, sa perimeter. Pagkatapos, meron ka din naman papasahan down low. So, this is something na pwedeng maidagdag pa at ma-establish si Zion Williamson. Not only yung dunking niya, yung scoring niya, yung high percentages niya. Feeling ko, pwede niyang i-elevate yung passing na skill niya. Which is very, very good sa mga nag-expect sa kanya sa fantasy basketball. So, if you're playing fantasy basketball, I think, watch out for this specific stat. And then kung fan ka lang talaga ni Zion, syempre, the fact na healthy siya, dapat masaya ka na. And then the fact na nakapasok sa playoffs ng Pelicans, plus idadagdag mo pa si Zion, plus okay yung mga rookies na draft nila. So you should be really, really excited for your team, especially for Zion Williamson. So yan, salamat sa pulang kabayo. Papi Raf, sabi ni Papi Giancarlo Silori, maglalaro pa rin sa Miami Heat. Recorded ng clip si KUMU ngayon. Kasi Papi Roy Silori ba maglalaro pa rin sa Miami Heat? Mukhang maglalaro pa rin siya, Paps. Si Jimmy Butler, nabanggit din dito ni Papi Gian. Feeling ko posible siya maglaro, pero kasi meron kasing isang piyesa sa buong NBA na magiging basihan ng lahat ng moves further before NBA season really starts. And then that's gonna be Kevin Durant. So I guess Miami is part of those teams that try to get Kevin Durant. So, I guess si Kyle Lowry mukhang part ng trade piece nila. Hindi nila basta-basta makukuha si Kevin Durant kung hindi nila ite-trade si Kyle Lowry. So, sa ngayon, oo. Pero, abangan natin, magkaroon ng movement or magkaroon ng traction ito si Kevin Durant, Papi Gian. Kasi, isa to sa magtitik ng domino effect kung ano man mangyayari sa kanya. Salamat sa pag-follow, Hells Bells. Ayan. After Zion Williamson, sino ba yung player natin? So, of course, di natin mapag-uusapan lahat. No? So, mamimili lang tayo ng magandang pag-usapan. Usually, yung mas well-known na players. So, Bradley Beal, similar to Zion Williamson, baka bayayaba na after couple of months ago, couple of weeks ago, biglang yaman dahil sa mga kontrata nila. Nabanggit ko na ito before. I don't know if everyone or some of you agrees. Nagulat ako. Hindi ako sobrang in agreement, pero hindi naman ako sobrang disappointed Dahil itong si Bradley Beal, loyal kasi siya. At least that's what we are seeing. And that's what Washington is saying. Kaya in-extend siya. Pero ang naisip ko lang kasi, hindi din na rin naman sobrang bata si Bradley Beal. In several seasons, he was never that type of player na laging healthy and then bubuhatin talaga niya yung buong Washington to go to the playoffs. So naging question sa akin, yung opportunity to rebuild, given that you have trade pieces, over trying to really contend and extend or give Bradley Beal a big contract moving forward. Kasi if ako yung GM, what does it give me? So, ibig sabihin ba, naniniwala ako na within 5 years, capable si Kristaps Porzingis saka si Bradley Beal to really, give me a championship. So, or naggumawa ba sana ako ng move? Given na in the past 2 season, there are several opportunities to get solid rookies, di ba? And invest in the future. So yung pagtimbang ng chance of your franchise to either have a better direction, win a championship, naging question sa akin yun, naging gray area. But, yun naging decision niya. So, wala naman din tayo magagawa. Yun lang talaga yung take ko sa ngayon kasi, yun nga, medyo naguguluhan ako dun sa direction nila. Anyway, itong si Bradley Beal for me, at least, he's definitely a star, maybe a superstar. Pero, ang tanong ko lang dito kay Bradley Beal talaga is, ano yung magiging impact sa kanya of having someone like Kristaps Porzingis? Kung tinignan natin yung Dallas na stint ni Kristaps Porzingis, if we just compare, okay naman, pero I think internally, hindi siya nag-work given na Luka really plays better kapag siya talaga yung nagtitimon. And then of course, Kristaps also wants the ball. Can they do that? Can they do better with Bradley Beal? So, yan yung isang malaking tanong. So, yun yung kailangan nating i-monitor dito sa tambalang Kristaps Porzingis saka Bradley Beal. Kasi diyan natin ibabase yung magiging performance nila, fantasy and reality. Can really Washington contend? Kasi after Kristaps Porzingis, sino pa yung andyan sa kanila? They just traded KCP, so naging si Will Barton siya. Pagkatapos, meron kang Kyle Kuzma Boy. So, sapat na ba yun? Kasi, looking at it, yun yung direction nila. Gusto nilang makapasok sa playoffs. So, everyone or every team in NBA, almost everyone, got better. So, sapat na ba yung pagkuha kay Kristaps Porzingis and Will Barton to say na, uy, we're better this season at kaya na namin makipagbakbakan para makapasok sa playoff. So that's gonna be a big question. But in terms of fantasy, I guess, well, pag hawak niya yung bola, he scores, he delivers, snipes, steals per se, maybe better efficiency compared to others. Questionable yung load management din, pero bago na yung coach nila, so let's see. So it's gonna be tricky din para kay Bradley Beal. I think he should be, hindi siya dapat lumagpas ng second round, definitely. Maybe middle ng second round. I'm looking at it. It's someone that we should really monitor and get information during preseason. Saka yung mga rumors kung ano yung rotation nila. Kasi definitely siya pa rin yung main man. Pero yun nga saan mo siya ilalagay? Dahil ba meron kang mga players like Anthony Davis, sino pa ba? Kyrie Irving, and even Joel Embiid na, uy, first round, ayoko nito kasi injury prone. Do you get Bradley Beal? Pero si Bradley Beal in the past season, hindi din ganun ka-sturdy. So, yun yung naging tricky sa ano talaga, sa sitwasyon nito ni Bradley Beal. So, doon sa mga magdadraft kay Bradley Beal, kung masasabi ko lang, I think, second round-ish, tingnan natin ano yung magiging impact. Worst case scenario, top 30. He started top 30 before Kung andyan si January, lagi siyang top 30. So maybe bumalik siya doon, mag-regress siya. There's a good chance of that. Or he can retain that borderline or mid-second round player. So abangan natin ito, si Papi Bradley Beal. Next player natin, mga paps. The Blue Arrow, Jamal Murray, mga papi. So ayan, ang pagbabalik ni Jamal Murray galing injury. So maraming na-excite tulad ni TJ Warren na banggit ko nga ay tawag dito, galing injury. Tapos ang last season na naabutan natin na sobrang solid na performance nila was bubble pa. So it's going to be interesting kasi possibly ito na yung season na healthy yung core players ng Denver Nuggets. So you have Nikola Jokic, of course, number 1 player, fantasy, hands down. In reality, arguable. Masasabi kong arguable. Andun na siya. maybe he's not that LeBron or KD na level pa, pero andun na siya, malapit na siya doon. Kumakatok na si Nikola Jokic. And then MPJ is also gonna be healthy. Ang question lang kasi dito is, we know that Jamal Murray can score, he can deliver, tumaas na rin yung steals rate niya in the past season. But, similar din sa isang player na babanggitin, pag-uusapan natin mamaya quickly, medyo questionable yung duration ng pahinga niya. Kasi ako mga paps, naka-ACL din ako. Nag-attempt ako mag-duck dati. Joke. Nagkaroon ako ng injury, ACL. And then less than a year. Hindi pa ako pro player diyan. Hindi naman talaga ako batak na batak. Naka-recover na ako. So, medyo kailangan natin subaybayan yung update kasi it's been a while. Medyo matagal-tagal na yung injury niya. So, I'm expecting na dapat 100% na siya. Pero if not, I think sa fantasy-wise, bababa yung value niya. So, makukuha natin siya ng mas mura. So, I'm gonna target Jamal Murray. Sa ngayon, ang baba talaga ng valuation ni Jamal Murray sa Yahoo. So, kung magdadraft na kayo, panalo yan. Kung baga, siya, low risk, high reward. Pero yun nga, if he's 100% healthy, top 25 definitely, or top 30, yan yung assessment natin sa kanya. Even with MPJ, kaya niyang gawin niya. Iba yung gameplay nila ni Jokic. Talagang napaka you can expect almost 25 and 5 dito kay na may 2 to 3 snipes pagkatapos maybe 1 steal or 1.2 steals dito kay Jamal Murray. Pwede natin i-expect yan kay Jamal Murray if he's 100%. So expect na mababa pa yung production niya sa umpisa kasi wala pang malaking news na hey, Jamal Murray is 100% healthy off the bat, mag-start siya, blah, blah, blah. Wala pang ganun. Wala pa. So, abangan natin yan. So, sa ngayon, let's just be excited. Lalo na sa mga Denver fans. Finally, mabubuo na yung Denver Nuggets. Pero yun, let's just wait for bigger news, clearer news for Jamal Murray, the Blue Arrow. Pero isa to sa mga inaabangan natin. Marami na nakalimot dyan, even in Dynasty Leagues. No? So, nabanggit natin yung 5. So, pag-usapan natin yung iba pang players na pwede natin isingit to really discuss bago matapos yung ating oras. So, nabanggit ko na to kanina, John Wall, na maglalaro na ngayon sa LA Clippers. Ito, hindi siya injury. Hindi siya injured, pero nagkaroon siya ng problema sa contract. And I guess magkakaroon siya ng impact dito sa Clippers dahil Clippers wants to win. They are capable team in terms of piyesa na non-basketball, like for example, coach, GM, lahat ng mga tao nakapaligid sa kanila. Isa to sa pinaka-solid na organization. They have the money, they have the personnels. We can say they have the players, pero they haven't really reached their full potential. So, since they want to really win now, nakita niyo naman, kumuha sila ng mga bets. Let's see anong mabibigyan ni John Wall. Dati, easy 2010, kaya bigyan ni John Wall dyan. So, with Paul George and with Kawhi in front of him, ahead of him, siguro mag-expect tayo ng 15-7 or 15-8. Pwede na asahan. Yun na yung mid-level na expectation natin. Of course, hindi ganun ka-solid yung 3-point shooting niyan. Steals and defense for a point guard, definitely yes. Pagkatapos, assist, of course. Turnovers, masakit. Free throw percentage, medyo shaky kasi nung nasa Washington pa siya, solid yung free throw niya, na-improve niya. Tapos naasahan sa free throws made. Sa Rockets, naging shaky. So, nonetheless, I think abang-abang si John Wall kasi wala naman siyang after nung injury niya, wala naman siyang ibang big injury. So, I guess, meron pa tong gas sa tangke niya. Napag-usapan na rin natin to na magitan natin MPJ. Watch out for MPJ. Baka ma-overdraft na naman siya. Kasi before, kaya sobrang taas ng assessment natin or expectation kay MPJ kasi injured si Jamal Murray. Kasi yung season na sana, breakout season niya, hindi niya nagawa kasi na-injury din siya. So, abangan natin yan. Bago pa pumunta si MPJ sa NBA, marami na siyang injuries. So, isa na to sa concern ng mga team sa kanya. Pero he's really a capable player. So, let's see if this KD prototype daw, KD prototype yung tawag sa kanya, can really deliver kasi hindi pa niya napapakita dahil hindi pa siya nakabuo ng solid na season with a good opportunity. Kasi dati, healthy siya. Wala naman siya opportunity. Nung nagkaroon na siya ng opportunity, doon naman lumabas yung mga issue niya sa likod na talagang, alam ko, before pa, nagiging issue na yun. So, watch out din dito kay MPJ. Ito yung nabanggit ko kanina na kailangan talaga natin pag-usapan. Jonathan Isaac. Ewan ko, magtatayo na ng ata ito ng National Bookstore. Gagawa na ata ng libro. So kung si Jamal Murray, medyo extended yung ACL injury niya. Lalo na to, si Jonathan Isaac. Pero they're saying na ready na daw siya. Umpisa pa lang ng season. Before, to be honest for me, Jonathan Isaac is the best Orlando Magic bago siya ma-injury. Out of dun sa mga players ng Orlando Magic na roster, talagang si Jonathan Isaac ang para sa akin highest potential and then probably most skilled or sabi natin best player even versus yung mga youngsters nila. But that was way back. Now they have Paolo Banchero. Nakapag-sign sila, Wendell Carter Jr., you have Cole Anthony, you have Markel Fultz. You have Franz Wagner. It's going to be tricky para kay Jonathan Isaac. The question here is the Orlando Magic still buying his potential? Kasi if nasawa na sila, maybe mabawasan yung opportunities niya in minutes. If all-in pa rin sila, then we should expect big things to Jonathan Isaac. So marami nang hindi makakapansin dito kung nagpa-fantasy kayo. And for me, monitor lang natin yung news. Ako, willing ako sa kanya. Mag-roll the dice kasi this player is one of the few players that can give you fantasy gold. Blocks, steals, snipes, score, rebounds. So, ang dami niyang mabibigay na fantasy gold. So, ako, pwede ako mag-roll the dice dyan. Sabi ni Papi, JB Villalon, what's up? Ben Simmons. tama, si Ben Simmons. Isa pa na to sa big comeback. Hindi ko na nga nalagay, si Ben Simmons. It's going to be interesting. Singitan natin agad si Ben Simmons. It's going to be interesting for Ben Simmons kasi pag nawala si Kyrie Irving, pag nawala si Kevin Durant, Ben Simmons and I think TJ Warren, sila yung sa Brooklyn Nets na. Can actually, go, the value nila will go skyrocket. It can go both ways. Tricky kasi i-assess yung mental health. Kasi yun yung sinasabi niyang problema niya. So if it's just, an excuse, then we can expect better things for Ben Simmons. If makasama pa, alam mo yun, na, under the microscope na naman ako or kinain siya ng pressure, then maybe mag-bust na naman itong si Ben Simmons. Pero kasi everything is pointing na kailangan na expected na magbe-breakout siya. He's gonna have a better role. He's capable of doing that. Tapos storyline, comeback season talaga eh. Magbabawi talaga si Ben Simmons. So yung direction is going there. Ang tanong na lang, will Kyrie or KD stay? Si Kyrie nitong mga nakaraang araw nagbabangkit ng mga negative comments or negative feedback doon sa mga personnels ng Brooklyn Nets. Several comments about yung si Marks, kay Nash. So, ewan ko, gusto na talaga umalis ni Kyrie Irving. KD, of course, di pa natin alam kung ano mangyayari. So, let's see kung ano mangyayari. Pero definitely, compared to yung performance niya doon sa Philly, na namarkahan na halos ng lahat na wala na to si Ben Simmons. I think we should expect a comeback season for Ben Simmons. Nag-aabang na siya. Nag-tweet na nga agad siya eh. Nakatawa nga yung tweet na yun eh. Parang excited na siya next season. Sabi biglang umugong yung rumors na aalis na si Kyrie. Saka si KD. Kinaka-couple of fire. So yun, medyo nakakatawa yun. Nakakatawa yung pagyayari na parang Ben Simmons, alam mo yung feeling na hype. No, tweet ka yun. I-expect ka, ilalik to ng bagong brothers na si KD sa ni Kyrie. Sabay pagtingin mo sa news, konting oras lang, may rumors na matetrade yung dalawa. So, imagine mo yung si Ben Simmons. Mapapa-sound trip ka nung madilim ang palig. Ewan ko dito, Ben Simmons. Rookie of the year ulit. Next player, underrated, undervalued, Gordon Hayward. So, we all know what Miles Bridges did. And lahat tayo, I guess, hindi agree doon. We don't like or we don't want those type of activities, type of situations na may naaagrabyado and then coming from a professional athlete. So, huwag kalimutan na natin si Miles Bridges, pag-usapan natin si Gordon Hayward. Na-injury lang siya, yes, bago matapos season. Pero he was actually having a good season. Talagang maganda yung performance ng Charlotte Hornets kapag andyan siya. So with Miles Bridges, like, on the bucket, or wala na talaga. Not only LaMelo Ball, not only Terry Rozier, but specifically dun sa role niya, I think mag-step up itong si Gordon Hayward. So, I'm expecting big things kay Gordon Hayward. I'm expecting na baka maging under the radar move to. So watch out to si Gordon Hayward. Unless matrade siya or something, feeling ko talaga magkakaroon siya ng chance. Another player. So ang pinag-uusapan natin talaga yung galing injury, hindi nakapaglaro. Hindi siya yung comeback na, uy, mababa yung game ko season. Babawi tayo doon. Ang tawag natin doon, bounce back. Ito, comeback talaga. Yung galing sa injury or nawala sa scene. So lastly, alam kong medyo marami pa kayong naiisip. Chat nyo lang or comment nyo lang. Masingit natin. Pero isa sa last kong napag-usapan, kasi maganda yung transition from a very, tawag dito, hindi naman complicated, pero newsworthy na case sa Charlotte Hornets with Miles Bridges. Ito din, si Richaun Holmes. So, hindi siya pinalaro ng Sacramento kasi nagkaroon siya ng issue sa kanyang anak at sa kanyang asawa na na-dismiss na. Alam ko, na-dismiss na to. So, makakapaglaro na siya sa Sacramento Kings. Before that, in terms of fantasy, kung hindi nyo siya napapansin or kung hindi kayo nakapaglaro ng fantasy, he was actually a top 50 player or even depende sa format So, may mga valuation na hindi siya ganun kataas. Pero isa to sa mga gusto at napapansin ng mga fantasy players, si Richaun Holmes, kasi good percentages, blocks, rebounds, and all. So, gusto ko lang itong isingit kasi there were news around the league that Sacramento is planning to make Domantas Sabonis play the 4 or power forward and bring back Richaun Holmes sa lineup as their number 5 or their center. So, medyo weird. Di ko alam Di ko alam anong plano sa Sacramento Kings match dyan. Explain nyo naman. Pero mukhang yun yung plano nila. Fan ako ni Richaun Holmes So, ako, matutuwa ako para sa kanya. So, for me, it's gonna be an under-the-radar move. If that happens, so kung hindi yan mapapansin ng mga iba yung kalaro sa fantasy, I'll definitely target Richaun Holmes. In limited minutes, kaya niya magbigay ng solid numbers. Not eye-popping, but solid. Hindi lang talaga siya ganun ka-scorer, pero in terms of percentage, siya yung player or siya yung big man na hindi ka sasaktan. Yan. So, katulad ko pala yan. Pero siya yung big man na ganun. So, watch out for someone like Richaun Holmes kasi hindi na siya masyado napapasin dahil bigla na lang siyang hindi naglaro, tapos ang daming big man na youngsters na feeling ko mas madadraft over him. So, I'll definitely double check. So, ayun, mga paps, these are the players that I believe na magkakaroon ng comeback dahil na nagbabalik from their injury or leave of absence or their contract concerns. And then, let's see kung magmamaterialize lahat ng in-enumerate natin. And I hope nagustuhan niyo yung ating episode. Sa mga susunod na episode, feeling ko maglagay pa tayo ng additional na bounce back naman, yung mga hindi maganda performances. And then, bago natin ilabas yung mga breakout players, yung mga bust players this season, siguro ikutan muna natin yung Eastern and Western Conference. So, reviewin natin per team. Siguro per conference na lang din. So, gagawa namin ng paraan yan dito sa KUMU. So, yun. Maraming salamat. I hope nagustuhan nyo itong episode na to. Shoutout sa KUMUHOOPS. Follow and like. Kung hindi pa kayo nagda-download na KUMU, download na kayo. Available ako dyan. Hanapin nyo lang Paperoy. Follow nyo lang yan. And then, of course, we are available at Facebook and YouTube. So, meron tayong slide para dyan para hindi na ako basta. So, ayan. Facebook natin, Fantasy Basketball Pinas or Fantasy Basketball PH. Join din kayo dun sa biggest Yahoo fantasy group sa buong Facebook page or Facebook world. NBA Fantasy League-PH. So, sali kayo dyan. This is a group na talagang sama-sama yung mga mahihilig sa fantasy. YouTube and Spotify, available tayo, Fantasy Basketball PH. Twitter natin is NBA Fantasy Papi. Again, Papiro yung KUMU account natin. Follow KUMUHOOPS. And ayun, maraming salamat mga papi. Again, this has been your Fantasy Papi, Papi Roy. Sunday ulit. Saturday pala. Bye-bye. Takits.